And now, it's time for the Bodysurf podcast with Tim and Owie.
And welcome to the Bodysurf podcast with Tim and Fin. We are coming to you from Melbourne. I'm coming to you from Melbourne. Fin is coming to you, I believe, from the Sutherland Shire. Whereabouts are you coming to us
27
from
Walker
tonight?
Street. Yeah, the Shire.
Will I have to beep that out?
Huh?
Do I have
my
to
mic's not good enough.
Anyways. That came through loud and clear. Everyone knows where you live now.
God damn it.
Oh man, how are you doing, brother?
I'm doing good.
Yeah.
I've gotten back into surfing.
I know, that's why I wanted to get you on the podcast, because we've been surfing together and it's been a lot of fun. And
a lot of fun.
A lot of stuff has been going on, so I thought it'd be good if we had a quick catch up. I'm in Melbourne doing a bit of stand-up comedy, and it's been a lot of fun. You're in the Shire catching a few waves here and there. I believe you went in a surf comp recently. That's quite exciting.
Yeah, I did one round and that was it. I was out. But I got a really good photo, so that was nice.
Oh, okay. That's, I guess, worth the entry fee to the comp.
No entry fee. They remembered me. They said, "Oh, we'll chuck this guy back in. God bless him." They'd all thought I'd gone down a bad path because they hadn't seen me in 5 years. They're like, "Have you been partying? You're a party guy now." I'm like, "I'm not a party guy. I've been playing golf." And so they're like, "Yeah." So they chucked me in for free. I got smashed, but it was fun.
How is your handicap?
My golf handicap, it's around 13, but
Ooh, very nice.
I'm off the golf for a bit.
Well, yeah, what I was going to ask, what do you prefer, golf or surfing?
Surfing is good. Golf is good. There's so many different, like surfing is a real sport. Like I never realized how much of a sport surfing is because I used to do it from such a young age, so it was never hard. But jumping back into it, it's really fucking hard. Like paddling out the back, getting smashed, duck diving, getting back out there, having the energy to get back in the spot, and having the energy to deal with all the dickheads in the lineup. Because as a body surfer, you know there's lots of dickheads in the lineup.
Well, yes, and I often get cut off, and I don't know if it's just because of the way I look or because of the way I swim, or I'm not sure why people cut me off, but I've also cut some people off, so I'm not perfect either. When we went for a surf the other day, we went out to Point at Cronulla, and that was really fun. Were you impressed by my physical fitness?
By your physique?
No, just the fact that I can sort of swim. Remember we did laps in my pool at Lane Cove, and I'm like 40 seconds off the world record.
Very, very impressed, Tim. I feel like you're leading me towards that answer.
I'm just trying to brag a little bit of a humble brag there. You know, a lot of people don't take me serious, but I am the 43rd best body surfer in Australia. So I want people to know that. People think I'm just here mucking around, but I do enjoy body surfing, and I do take it quite seriously.
There was no hesitation. Tim was right out there, jumped off the rocks at the point, and as a surfer, I'm not used to giving way to body surfers. And Tim, he was taking off on the waves. He was frustrating me because I was like, I could do so much more on a surfboard. Why can't I take it?
Why don't you convert to body surfing?
Well, here's the thing. I really respect body surfers because this is a body surfing podcast. And I think it's a very cool thing. I think you're in nature. It's just you and the wave. It's pure. I don't know not much about spinning around and doing tricks like that. I've never done that myself.
Yeah.
But don't from a young age, just like body surfing the short arm, it's beautiful.
Yeah.
It's great. But you can't get barreled properly. You can't. There's just certain things. It's just very limiting.
We are going to Urban Surf at Homebush soon, and you can definitely get barreled there. And remember, I gave you that
True.
skipper hand plane, and you were getting some waves with that, and you were getting in some
That's
little
true.
frothy barrels.
No, I definitely enjoy it. Yeah, I definitely enjoy it.
Oh man, I really want to. I just want to do everything with you, Finn. I want to do comedy with you. I want to do university with you. I want to write with
Mhm.
you. I want to surf with you. I want to ride the scooter with you. I want to
That was fun.
skateboard with you. I just posted that skate video we made. Do you think I posted in the edit the same
Mm.
tricks twice? Because I thought I only like you said there was the same shot twice or something like that. I'm real
No,
worried.
no, no,
Just the
not the same.
same trick, different take,
Yeah, I wouldn't be too worried about that.
bro.
Same trick, different take.
I'm showing everyone this video, and there's
You
this.
are?
Well, I'm in Brunswick right now, and there's a great little skate park nearby. I'm thinking of going to buying a complete and hitting it up. There's a lot of comedians out here who are skaters, and
Mm,
I want to maybe try and catch up with them and have a bit of a skate. So yeah, we've been having a great time lately. We've been just like
awesome.
really chasing all our hobbies, which has been a lot of fun.
Mm.
But I just
Yeah,
want to
I got a
see body surf a bit more.
yeah, yeah. I bought a we went me and Tim went to Decathlon, great store, lots of stuff. I bought a bow and arrow.
Yes.
I was out my backyard before Tim called me up. I was
Yeah.
shooting heaps normals.
Well, you shooting?
The
Oh, I thought you were shooting elk.
no, I was shooting non-alcoholics. It was very fun.
And when you shot one, it's what's it called when you drink it like a
Oh,
shotgun it?
shotgun it. Yeah,
Yeah. Did you do
yeah,
that?
yeah.
Did you
No,
do?
no, I just watched and smiled.
It's a waste of a very nice non-alcoholic beer.
That's true. That's true. That is a waste.
But
That's
how is
very
your aim with the bow and arrow?
It's not I think it might be the bow and arrow. It was $65, but it's atrocious.
So
I've already lost a couple.
you won't be going to Paris to represent
Uh,
Australian archery anytime soon.
no, not to represent archery.
What do you think about surfing being an Olympic sport and potentially bodyboarding becoming an Olympic sport or body surfing becoming an Olympic sport, possibly in
Mm,
Brisbane?
I think obviously surfing, it's a great addition. There is some great additions. Surfing, great addition. Skateboarding, great addition. Breakdancing, what the fuck? That's crazy.
What about
I
imagine
can't
it stand-up comedy as an
stand up
Olympic sport?
comedy. Mm, what would the criteria be?
Well, it would be hard because everyone speaks different languages.
It'd be like Eurovision. Just the weirdest sort of
Mm.
shit wins.
Yeah. How did you get on Star Search? By sucking dick.
Um,
All
yeah,
right,
that's
so
it. Have you
we should. Sorry, I cut you off, but we need to probably just talk about body surfing a bit more. We got sidetracked with the archery chat. There's been some
True.
really cool stuff happening in the body surfing community, and you've hopefully seen a bit of this. The Flat Rock Invitational competition took
Wowee.
place a few weeks ago, and we covered it. I think the commentary was great. I think the vision wasn't perfect, but we'll try and get some better cameras when we start doing some more live outside broadcasts.
Mm.
What a wave! Did you see some of the footage? Did you see that teethy rock reefy break? What did you think of it?
What a wave. What a day. It looked amazing. I looked very intimidating. It's a shame that it couldn't continue, but I just wasn't just didn't seem like it was the day for it. I would have loved
Mm,
to seen some more waves ridden in that short amount of time that it was on, but
yeah.
you can't blame the boys. It was very tricky conditions.
Well, the co-host of this podcast, Matthew O'Donnell, the big dog, he did not catch a single wave. He got brought in, I think, 3 or 4 times. There was a rescue that had to take place. Dan Carr, the Captain Kookman, had to go out
Mm.
and rescue someone, and then he cut his foot up and it required stitches. So the paramedics came and the ambulance came and all that sort of stuff came. So they ended up calling off the competition because of the dangerous conditions of the surf. But that wave is known for that, and that's why it's such a unique competition, and it's only the best of the best who are allowed to enter it. And that's probably why I did not get an invite, because I probably would have drowned out there. There's a lot of water moving around. It was very frothy. It was very big. There were some huge sets coming through. I think I only saw maybe 4 or 5 people catch waves.
Any good waves?
Well, yeah, and unfortunately, it didn't come across that great on the vision. So you'll have to listen to the podcast as an AM broadcast, an AM radio commentary broadcast, because the vision wasn't great. But we did get enough sort of involvement with the women's heat to place everyone. So we have a champion of the women's division for the Flat Rock Invitational, and that is Sally Burns. So Sally Burns placed first. And then in second place, we had Alana Patterson. And in third place was Hannah Finlay Jones. So well done to the ladies. They got enough waves. They had enough time in the water to sort of score and work out a winner. And because the competition has 2 rounds of heats, which is very unusual. So you get 2 chances, and we didn't even get that far. We didn't even get through the first round. So yeah, unfortunately it was called off, but it was still a great day. It was great to see everyone. They put on a sausage sizzle. I had a few Red Bulls. We saw Andrew Denton. It was an amazing experience, and I can't wait to go back next year and hopefully be involved again, because it was a lot of fun. But I'm hoping I'm developing my skills as a commentator that I might be able to get a little bit of work when these world tours start taking place, when these official body surfing international comps take place overseas, because I would love a little trip to Hawaii, and I would go over and commentate for free if someone wanted to maybe pay for an airfare. So the Fin, Hawaii, if you're listening, I'm available. I'm a freelancer. I'm a contractor. I'm ready to work. So
how about you give him 30 seconds of your best stuff?
All right, here we go. And we're racing, and we're down the straight. Very Elegant has won the Melbourne Cup. There you go.
There we go. That is great stuff. Yeah, no, I love watching the body surfing on the Instagram. I especially love watching the Brazilians.
Yes. We need to try and get some Brazilians on the podcast. Some are a bit hesitant because their English isn't great, but we've had people on the podcast that English is their second language, and it's still been quite entertaining, and it's been quite fun. So yeah, I think there is another Body Surf podcast in El Español. So that's pretty exciting, because I thought we were the #1 body surf podcast in the world, but we might have a bit of competition out there with a Spanish version. Yeah. So Flat Rock Invitational was a lot of fun. Now I guess we're tracking up to the big urban surf competition that's going to be put on by War Hand Planes. I'm entered as a competitor, and I'm a little bit nervous. I'm in Melbourne right now, and there is an urban surf in Melbourne. I did it a few years ago with the slide handboard team, and that was a lot of fun. But I've been told that the Melbourne urban surf wave is a little bit different to the Sydney Homebush urban surf wave. So this is an artificial wave. It's the first time, I believe, a body surf competition has been run at an artificial wave in Australia, and I'm very excited because, I mean, we sound like a broken record here, but like the consistency of these waves are really going to make this competition special because everyone's going to have a chance to catch a wave, and it's what you do with it that's going to separate the men from the boys.
Yes, personally, I won't be competing, but I will be there. Champ.
You're going to come?
Yeah, maybe if it's free, I guess I'll come.
I think it's free to watch. We could use you as a color commentator.
Yeah, that would be fun.
Have you watched
I'm not
have you watched a bit of UFC?
a little bit of UFC, yes. They
You could
always have
be
one guy like Joe
Yeah,
Rogan.
you could be the Joe Rogan and just come out and do a bit of color commentary and maybe interview some people and that. But yeah, I mean Ricky from War Hand Planes, he puts on a great event. There's a lot of people in the body surfing community that could not organize a route in a brothel, but Ricky knows what he's doing, and it's going to be silky smooth, and I cannot wait. I'm just very, very excited. So. What are your thoughts about artificial waves and competing in a body surfing kind of comp?
Well, I can't speak for body surfing too much, even though I am on a body surfing podcast. But I think artificial waves for surfing, it's a great thing, especially the airs these kids are doing now. The kids that have access to the right sort of wave pools, they can do incredible airs. They can do backflips, and it's changing surfing. Personally, I've never been to one, but they look insane. I'm very interested to see how I've never actually really watched a body surfing competition. So I'm not sure what scores. So whoever rides the wave longest does the best spin, they win.
Yeah, well, normally I'm looking for FaceTime. I'm looking for how long you can ride across a wave. But at Urban Surf, that just happens organically. That happens naturally. Like if you just
Yeah.
jump on it, you're going to get FaceTime. So, yeah, what do you do? Are you pulling out spins? Are you doing front flips? Are you just trying to get in deep into the barrel? I'm really not sure.
Mm.
I'll have a chat to the judges before we jump in the water to see what they're going to be looking for. And
I'd love to see some deep barrels. That's what I'd love
yeah,
to see.
and you can do that now. I often talk about PlayStation 2 Kelly Slater Pro Surfer on this podcast. It's a very great PlayStation 2 game. I play it a lot. I still play it a lot. And in the game, to get into a barrel, you sort of pump back a little bit. And you can kind of do that at Urban Surf. If you've got a nice hand plane, you can kind of like use it to sort of back yourself into a barrel and get really deep in the green room. So that could score really highly, I reckon.
If there was a body surfing race war, who would come out on top? The Australians, the Brazilians, or the Hawaiians?
I thought you were talking about like Palestine and Israel.
No, no, no. In terms of body surfing,
Like
not in terms of
I
physical
would
fighting.
I would like to see a state of origin. I would like to see New South Wales versus Queensland. I think they've done some stuff like that in the past. The Hawaiians are the best at it. Like the Hawaiians are
Yep.
always going to take out. Yeah, if they're involved in any kind of comp, they're winning. So yeah, they're the best of the best, and they always will be. And we have sort of given up trying to beat them. Like they're just so good.
What about the Brazilians? I've seen some Brazilians that I had a look at them and I said, boy, these guys are great.
Well, I mean, we don't really get a lot of people from Brazil coming over to compete. They kind of do their own thing. Like also like people in California, like they take it very seriously over there. So and they've got some great waves that they surf and they run some really cool comps over there. So I'm speaking very generally here, but like I do think the Hawaiians are the best, but I don't know too much about some of the other countries that are involved in the sport because they kind of keep to themselves. But yeah, maybe
Fair enough.
there was just a bit of a world tour competition in Hawaii at Pipe,
Yeah.
and or was it Point
Pipe. I've
Panic?
never.
Was it Pipe or Point Panic? I'm not sure. I'll have to fact check that if anyone knows, and if anyone knows the name of Andrew Denton's breakfast show, please let us know because we still haven't worked that one out. But yeah, so that was interesting to sort of see, but also like yeah, it was an interesting competition, and I want to get more involved in that. I was I was over at Bali while it was taking place, so I wasn't really keeping up to date with everything there, but it did look cool, and I would like to get involved next year because it looked like a lot of fun. Finny Padman, let's quickly just talk about some gear that you've recently purchased. So you bought a wetsuit. We have a segment on the podcast called "What's in Your Floppy Bucket." You've got a floppy bucket. You've got a few things in it.
Of course, of
But
course.
you recently bought a wetsuit, and you to me it was a bit of an unusual choice, and I just want to hear why you chose that particular wetsuit.
Well, first off, I want to hear why you think it was an unusual choice.
I just think you go steamer or springy,
Steamer?
and
Right.
you went in between.
Yeah, well, I've always appreciated a steamer, but I've also always appreciated a springy for the extra mobility you have when
Mm,
moving around. And I feel like in winter you need the long legs, but I don't
mm,
necessarily think you need the long arms.
mm.
You get more movement. It's easier to put on. It's easy to take off. It's a little bit cheaper, I think. I don't know what that wetsuit's called, but the wetsuit that has short arms, that's a good wetsuit.
Well, that's the thing I was sort of worried about is does it keep you warm? Were your arms a bit chilly in the water? It was quite cold when we went out the other
Yeah.
day. Did you feel the chill or was it okay?
No chill, no chill at all. That day was 20 degrees. I was catching lots of waves. I was fine, but then 2 weeks later, I was surfing in 18 degrees, and there was long waits between sets. And then after about an hour and a half, I was pretty fucking cold.
Yeah. So I've brought my flippers to Melbourne and I'm
Mm,
thinking about going to Urban Surf. You can hire wetsuits. I'm not sure if you can hire a hand plane, so I'll need to try and find one because you're not allowed to surf Urban Surf without some sort of surf craft.
right, right,
I
right.
went out without anything, just flippers, and I got yelled at. So I need to maybe find a shaper in Melbourne and grab a board real quick or a plane real quick if I want to give it a go, or I just give it a miss because it is very cold here, and I'm not sure if I could handle it right now. It's
How expensive is it? How expensive is it?
I think it's like 100 and something bucks for a session. I'm prepared to pay that, especially because it will give me an edge going into the comp. A lot of people have
True.
sort of jumped in at Urban Surf to prepare for the comp. So yeah, I'm thinking about doing it. My friend and big dog comedian Aaron Gox is thinking about doing it with me. He wants to take a boogie board out. So
Mhm,
I don't know if
mhm.
you saw uh, Luai, who is the 5'8" for New South Wales and for Penrith, and
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
up the mighty Blues. By the way, that was very
Oh,
exciting.
yeah.
That New South Wales won State of Origin, but they took them to Urban Surf Homebush for like a team bonding thing, and Luai got like sort of stuck in a rip, which I thought is quite. He was on a boog as well, and I thought it's so funny because
Yeah,
like
yeah, yeah.
these professional athletes like they do a lot of swimming and they do a lot of like walking in the pool and like resistance
Mm.
training and things like that. So it was funny that he got stuck in this rip and it looked very awkward. So yeah, it could be fun going out with Goxie and seeing how he goes.
Yeah, well, Luau, I until this year, I had always bet on him in the state of origin to score tries, and I think I've lost about $70 in that guy.
Yeah,
So I was kind of happy to see him out in the rip.
I mean, I've always thought that the halves aren't meant to really be try scorers. They're the playmakers. They set up the tries. So to bet on a half to be first try scorer or to anytime try scorer, I don't think it's a great bet. I always like to go with a winger, a centre, a fullback. I mean, I famously bet on Luke Lewis to score first try in the 2016 grand final when Cronulla played Melbourne, and Sportsbet made a meme that the try line was just dollar signs. And Luke Lewis was like an inch from scoring. And I swear everyone in that stadium was on Luke Lewis first try scorer because that man loved to score tries. And we would have made a lot of money that night. We ended up making a bit of money that night because we bet on Cronulla to win, and they were the underdogs. So that was exciting. Another story. I don't know if I should tell all these, like, because I'm in recovery. I'm a gambling addict, and I'm in recovery. I haven't gambled for about 4 years. So these stories sometimes, I don't know, are a bit silly. But this one time I bet I think I bet Penrith to get into the grand final, and then multied it into Cam Smith to get Clive Churchill medalist. So it was a 2-part multi. So for it to happen, Melbourne had to get into the grand final, Penrith had to get into the grand final, and then Cam Smith had to get Clive Churchill. I put $1,000 on it.
Oh, Jesus.
And because I thought even if Melbourne don't win, Cam Smith's going to get Clive Churchill medal because he was going to retire. So sometimes even the losing team gets the man of the match award. So I thought it was a very smart bet. Anyways, Cam Smith did not get Clive Churchill medal, but Sportsbet paid it out at halftime. So I won $9,000.
Fucking hell, $9,000. That's incredible. So why do they pay it off at halftime?
It's just Sportsbet do it as, like, I guess, a gimmick. It's like advertising. Like if they do it, it's the clickbaity. It was big news. So I forget the name of the player who got man of the match, but I was very lucky. Wow, and that was probably one of my biggest lows because I remember all my friends celebrating, and I remember not feeling anything. And I stopped gambling after that. Actually, that's not true. I went to the Dogs track the next night, and I paid a little bit off my HEX debt, my university debt, and then I put a little bit of money on the Greyhounds, and then I ended up going to hospital.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
But I haven't gambled since. I haven't had a drink since, and I'm on the straight and narrow. I'm keeping my nose clean, and I'm doing really well. So even though those war stories sometimes are a little bit silly, hopefully you can relate to the similarities and not the differences.
Yeah, I'm not a big drinker, a big gambler myself. I did get a bit hooked.
You have quite a strange. Is it a disease or disorder? The Gilbert syndrome.
Yeah, I got some liver issue. It's not a real problem. Just if I drink. If I drink alcohol, I feel really sick and I get yellow eyes.
Yeah, once I put a few pints through you, and you looked very unwell.
Yeah, that's why I stick to the little pillsies. No,
Finn, we just have to stop for a quick station break. We have to go to a commercial. We'll be right back after this.
Studio Kiel, watermark of a champion. The very best in Serbian swimwear tested at Olympic level. No more sloppy sluggos like the other brands. With Kiel, you're layered for life. Check out studiokiel.com for more information.
This is the Bodysurf podcast with Tim and Owie.
And And we are back, and we've got to wrap things up really, because it's been a very, very fun episode. But I need to get out of here. I got to go explore Melbourne. Like it's what time is it? It is 5 minutes to 10 p.m. here in Melbourne, and Melbourne is, unlike Sydney, it's alive at night. So I'm going to go out and see what's happening. I'm going to see if I can maybe do a bit of stand up, or if I can, I don't know, just go somewhere cool, fun. I will be talking to another guest while I'm here. Hipto, Justin Spittle, who is now a Melburnian. He lives sort of South Melbourne, is going to be coming to the QT, my favourite hotel, which is where I broadcasted an episode of the podcast a few weeks ago. So I'll be at the QT in Melbourne in a few days' time, and I'll be doing some podcasts there. So we have Justin Spittle lined up as our next guest. I'm very excited to talk to him. It's been a long time since I caught up with him. He's a great body surfer, a great chat. He's got a lot of stories, and he's moved to Melbourne. He's done a bit of a career change, and it's going to be very interesting to talk to him. So I'm very excited to have a chat to him in a few days' time. So that will be our next episode. But Fin Padman, I really appreciate you jumping on the podcast at short notice, and just chatting absolute rubbish. Do you have any final words of wisdom you want to bestow upon us before we wrap up this amazing podcast?
I do not. No. No, it's good fun being here. Good talking to you, Tim. I'm excited to hear all your stories of Melbourne.
Now
to come watch the.
Well, yeah, we need to catch up and talk business, because I've got some big dreams and plans and ambitions, and I'm just a furnace of ambition right now, and I don't know. This is quite personal, but I'll let the listeners know that I am on medication that is going to potentially take away a little bit of my motivation, and I'm a bit worried about that. So I'm trying to do a lot of stuff before that happens, and that's why I'm in Melbourne, and that's why I'm trying to do all these podcasts and things like that, because I might become a little bit lethargic while I'm getting used to a high dosage of this medication and things like that. So just a heads up. I apologize if, I'm a bit all over the place lately, but I'm doing all right. I'm getting some support, and we're going to be doing some really fun stuff here on the Bodysurf podcast. So stay tuned. We'll be doing shows as regularly as we can. Finn, I think you are now an official guest host of the Bodysurf podcast. We have a roster of guest hosts, and you've jumped on a few times. I really appreciate it. I love your insights. You're a Grom boy that knows a lot about surfing. You know a lot about waves. You know a lot about Cronulla. What's the surf club you're a part of?
Oh, I used to be a part of Cronulla Sharks and Cronulla Point Board Riders.
Yeah, awesome. And I remember we were at a gig. Remember we did a gig in Thirroul, and the South Coast Chompers were there, and they were pointing at you going, that kid, he used to be a big deal down at the Cracker Factory. So yeah, it's really exciting to have someone of your pedigree on the podcast. So I do appreciate your time, and I appreciate your insights, bro. And I can't wait to catch up with you when I get back to Sydney.
Of course. Yeah, a lot of interesting stuff to talk about. Very, very good, Tim.
All right, we got to get out of here. Do it again real soon. But remember,
it's always overhead when you're body surfing.
You. Bye.
There we go.